Morning, kiddos. Oh, those flies are just terrible, aren't they? I gave you a break yesterday. It was windy. How'd you get poop all over your horns, goofball? That's what I got. I got you a little treat today. Nothing special, just a little oats. But it's Sunday. Figured you guys needed something. Can't even see on the camera. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the thumb. Let me get out of the way so you can see the cattle. There you go. Yeah, I just gave them a little bit of oats. It's Sunday morning, so yeah, little Sunday morning brunch. Yeah, so today I'm gonna just move my daily fence move, and I think I'm gonna do my temporary interior perimeter fence, get that set up. That way through the week I can get this all fixed up and get them run across. Yeah, I kind of want to, basically I got to move that fence, this perimeter fence, or this, I guess, cut fence. I don't know what you would call that, but I'm going to move that another 5-10 feet. And then you can't really see it, but right in that area I got a fiberglass post, and I'm going to run a fence along this side of that whole ditch bank, but then go through the ditch, and then it'll be on the opposite side of the ditch bank, on the east-west part. So then I'll open this all up and let them eat this down. It might take 3 or 4 days instead of, moving it the way it was. But I'm going to leave this here as basically as a back fence. So then it'll allow that part to grow up, because I'm trying to build that ground up a little. And I planted a buttload of radishes, and I think I even put turnips in there, just to plus the normal cover crop of radishes and oats and rye and everything else. But yeah, so then I'm gonna make basically along the woods there'll be another wire, and then I'll just kind of work my way across this field. When I get through that field, then I'm gonna go past the other ditch and work into where the oats was. So yeah, that's neither here nor there, but so yeah, what I got to do is get this fence moved. Well, there you have it. That's my morning chores. So I harvested some hay, I hauled some manure, I maintained my fence, I checked my cattle to make sure that they were healthy, I guess the only thing out of the ordinary is I did give them a little oats. I don't even know where I put that. What I think is kind of funny, I'll show you once I finally figure out where I dumped that. Huh, I don't even know where I dumped it. Oh, they must have ate it all. Yeah, but I don't know. To me, yeah, there it is right there. You can kind of see it in the ground. So most of it's still there. I mean, this isn't the most ideal feeder, but what's funny is as soon as I started moving that fence, they went right to that fresh grass. So that tells me one thing. It tells me that that's how cattle want to be. They want to eat fresh grass all the time. Um, a lot of feedlot guys will probably roll their eyes at something like that. But, so it takes 2 years more, or say it takes a good full 2 years uh, to finish out a steer on grass. Okay, I get that. It's going to taste a little different. I get that. It's going to be, from what I'm told, it's going to be healthier because of the type of fat that gets put on them. But the one thing you don't have is overhead. I mean, I've got into my total perimeter fence, which I'm figuring at least half of that as deer control. So basically, if I take half of the fencing supplies out as deer control, I got about $5,000 into my fencing, which is all of these temporary posts and poly wire and the perimeter fence. Yeah, if you compare that to a feedlot with concrete and mixer wagons and tractors and scraper tractors and manure storage and feed storage, yeah, that's $5,000. That's like $1,000 per head. So if I, eventually when I get to 20, 30, maybe even 50 head, that really won't be much of an investment at all. So anyway, just putting that into perspective a little bit. Okay, for my next step, I'm going to, just in front of that deer blind, there's a fiberglass post. I'm going to hook the end of my reel to it with, I made this. I don't know if it's going to work or not. I'm going to test it out I don't know, not really necessarily a scientific way. It's just going to either work or it's not. Let's put it that way. Anyway, it's just a tube with a high tensile wire inside of it, and it's just basically I'm just going to be able to hook my hook on it so I can run my wire before I have juice on it. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do. Well, that job's done, or that step is done. So I got it basically going straight that way. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that on there or not, but there's a post down there right in front of that deer blind. Then it's heading through those trees on this ditch bank, and basically it's going to go down through the trees, or down through the ditch. But the next thing I got to do is I'll put my pigtail posts up, or my step-in posts. I already have them on the other side of the ditch, but I'm going to put them on this side. Yeah, that's all done. Yeah, so I got this fence all done. I kind of don't like the idea. This part here is part of the field where it's really compacted, where I really wanted the cover crops to grow. But yet I'm going to be running the cattle across, and that could be good, could be bad. I don't think they'll kill it all, because actually I think I kind of went over this a couple times when I was kind of cleaning out the drill. But anyway, and it's young, so hopefully they won't trample it down too much, but they probably will. But anyway, and then just having the cattle on it might do as much good as the cover crops would have. So anyway, so this part's done. Now I got to go over the other side of the ditch. I will have to come back and just hook my hook on the hot wire over there, but that's later. So as far as this fence goes, there has been a doe and a fawn out here that I see on a regular basis. I don't know if it's the same one. I'm assuming it is. But other than that, I hardly see any deer. I might see one here and there. Let's say I see 2 or 3, like once a week. That's better than 20 or 30 every freaking night. So yeah, the fence is definitely working. Any of the neighbors who happen to watch this that have laughed at me when I said why I'm putting it up. Or if you see somebody putting a fence up that they say they're putting it up to keep the deer out, don't laugh at them, because it does work. I mean, honestly, it's a lot of work, but I already saw, even in the rye and the oats and this patch of wheat, there's no doubt there was no browse this year. I wouldn't say none, but compared to last year or any other year, there was hardly any. So yeah, now I'm just running over to the other side of this ditch here so I can, one of these days I might get a gator or something so I can run that instead of this expensive truck. But yeah, here's where the cattle were that I took them out of there. You can see they kind of overgrazed it in spots. That spot there, they really hung out a lot. Yeah, but this part here, they did exactly what I wanted them to do. They just trimmed it all back, and you can see where the fence was there, compared to this, which is, I think that's going to be next spring's project, because this will all be like a late summer. Whatever I plant crop wise, it's going to be a late summer plant. I'm thinking either buckwheat, maybe sunflowers, maybe both. But yeah, either way, it's going to be a late summer, because it's that spot down there is pretty wet, and I'm not going to bother planting anything, any winter annuals, or not winter annuals, but like winter wheat or rye or whatever, because it just doesn't make sense, because half the field will drown out. Someday when I get it into shape where the water soaks away, and then I might go back to planting wheat, or whatever. But anyway, I've got to run over to that side and finish up my outside fence. Well, now I got to go over and get my reel, go down through the ditch and get the reel, and then come back and attach it to this fiberglass post and then go in that direction. So don't laugh at me if I trip and get wet. Not real deep, but it's kind of hard to walk in. I did trim this grass a little, but it's still kind of hard to walk in. It's not really much of a ditch. It's more like a grass waterway, really, at this time of year anyway. It is actually a county drain, but I won't tell anybody if you don't. I think I'm not supposed to actually do this, but it's not like I leave them in here, and it's not like there's 200 cattle in here punching it up, making it highly erodible. It's just pretty much they're going to eat the upper levels of stuff, and everything will be fine, I hope. This is the part I'm not sure about, whether this is going to be low enough. Yeah, that should be fine. I don't think they'll bother it. Oh, get too old for this stuff. Okay, here I have one of my cotter pins. I'm just going to stick that over it, just so it stays up in one spot. The only reason I use this fiberglass post is because it's a little stronger than one of those other kind. And then I'll probably attach a wire to go that direction too. So now I just got to walk this direction. Okay, I got one more step. This is actually going to be kind of a temporary type fence, because this fence will be one of them that I move when I eventually start working my way across the field here. But for now, it's going to be somewhat of a permanent interior fence, because I might move that where I moved earlier in this video, where I moved that fence. I might move it a few more times and then basically open this all up and let it, yeah, anyway, I don't know for sure, but that's why they call it adaptive grazing, I guess. But yeah, so I gotta put some fence up. Okay, so I got my fence all run. I'm kind of all set for the next week or so. Just wanted to come over and check my water, or I should say the cattle water. It's kind of funny how they don't. I mean, I filled this up yesterday afternoon, and it's still basically full. I don't know if it's just they're getting enough moisture out of the crops they eat or what, but yeah, for the most part, it's ready for the next week, and I will have to move fence and stuff, but the hard part's done. Yeah, the biggest thing is I want to get this all back fenced off. I put this fiberglass post here, and then there's one over there by the deer blind. Then it'll go at an angle on this side, and then to the left of the deer blind, and then all that'll be back fenced, and then all this basically will be able to regrow for deer season. Because my cover crops, they're basically a threefold purpose. One is to obviously build the soil, get some carbon in it, loosen the soil. Second is to feed the cattle, and third is to bring the deer in. So Yeah, I'm sure I can accomplish all three of those things. The radishes are growing pretty good in this. I did a little, I think I did a short on that. Well, actually I did two videos. I did a long video and a short on planting this part here. I used the cattle to tromp it all in. So Dr. Wood's buffalo system, I think, is one of the key words in that. But anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Again, thanks for everybody who subscribed, and I wish I could do more with that all crop, but that's just kind of a seasonal thing, and that's where I get most of my subscribers. So I will be probably cleaning my rye and wheat, and possibly even cleaning my oats before I put it in the granary. I think I could sell it a little easier and maybe get a little more money for it. So yeah, so that's probably what I'll do. Anyway, so I don't want to bore you to death or keep blabbering on, but I guess thanks for watching, and take her easy. Okay guys, let's go get a drink of water. I want to make sure you guys know where it's at. Come on guys. Looks like you know where it's at. There, you get a drink. I want to make sure you guys are drinking. At least if you want to.